Oh, big crash! That's Nelson Piquet.
The biggest cheaters. In F1 history, Formula One is a sport of split-second margins, blistering speed, and ruthless precision. But when talent isn't enough, and the stopwatch keeps saying no,
We've had a fuel splash. Oh my goodness me!
Out goes Michael Schumacher!
some teams pull out the creative rulebook, also known as cheating. This isn't about missing apexes, it's about missing ethics. From crash conspiracies to 780-page espionage thrillers, F1's history is as shady as a Monaco tunnel at midnight. And yes, Ferrari's in here too, because in the world's most high-stakes racing circus, pushing the limits often means pushing legal definitions. Buckle up. This ride's not just fast, it's filthy. Let's meet the slickest scammers in F1 history. 1. Crashgate, Renault's Singapore stunt, 2008. Imagine telling your driver to crash on purpose. That's exactly what Renault did at the 2008 Singapore Grand Prix. Nelson Piquet Jr. deliberately slammed into a wall just after teammate Fernando Alonso had pit-stopped early. That accident triggered a safety car, flipping race strategy upside down and handing Alonso a very suspicious win. It took a year for the truth to surface. Piquet blew the whistle after Renault dropped him like last week's tire compound. Team boss Flavio Briatore and engineer Pat Simons were banned, though not for long, and F1 fans learned that sometimes the only thing faster than an F1 car is karma. It wasn't just shady, it was Netflix-level sabotage, pre-drive to survive. Alonso, by the way, walked away clean, because of course he did. 2. Spygate. McLaren's Ferrari fetish, picture this. 780 pages of Ferrari secrets chilling in a copy shop. That's how McLaren's 2007 title bid went from championship contender to a $100 million fine. McLaren engineer Mike Coughlin got handed a full dossier from disgruntled Ferrari man Nigel Stepney, basically a cheat sheet for red car performance. Ferrari cried foul. McLaren said, oops, and the FIA slammed the hammer. McLaren was booted from the constructors' standings, and Ron Dennis probably aged a decade in one press conference. It was the biggest fine in sports history at the time, and yes, Lewis Hamilton still almost won the title. Ferrari took the championship that year, but not without some serious espionage drama. F1 has always been about margins, but this was a full-blown Italian job. 3. Benetton's 1994 Black Magic, launch control and fuel shenanigans. Benetton's 1994 season was basically a cheat code wrapped in a race car. Michael Schumacher was on fire, but so was the rulebook. The team was accused of using illegal launch control software hidden behind a secret menu. Yes, really. Giving them god-tier starts while everyone else did the old-fashioned footwork. Then there was the fuel rig incident. Benetton allegedly removed a fuel filter to speed up pit stops, which also made the whole system extremely flammable. You know, safety third. The FIA investigated, but never dropped a full ban hammer, because proving intent in F1 is like finding downforce in a Williams. Schumacher won the title barely, but the whole year smelled more like race fuel and rule bending than actual domination. It was fast, it was furious, it was fishy as hell. 4. Bar Honda's secret sauce, the hidden fuel tank. Bar Honda in 2005 pulled off one of the strangest scams in modern F1, a hidden fuel tank. During post-race scrutineering, Jenson Button's car somehow met the minimum weight until the FIA realized it was running with way more fuel than necessary. Translation? The car was technically underweight during the race, but sneakily legal once refueled. It was like putting dumbbells in your backpack after school, so the teacher thinks you carried your books all day. The FIA was not amused. Barr was handed a 2-race ban and fined, while Jenson's smile slowly faded like a pit lane burnout. This wasn't just shady, it was engineering-level loophole art. Sadly for them, the FIA doesn't grade on creativity. It was a short-lived hustle, but it reminded everyone, when F1 teams see a gray area, they drive through it like Eau Rouge in qualifying. 5. Team orders. Ferrari's Austrian GP 2002 and German GP 2010. In Austria 2002, Ferrari told Rubens Barrichello to move over and let Michael Schumacher win. On the last lap, after leading the entire race, the crowd booed, the podium was awkward, and even Schumacher looked embarrassed. Fast forward to Germany 2010, and Ferrari did it again. this time telling Felipe Massa, "Fernando is faster than you," code for "let him by." Massa obeyed, but the world noticed. Both incidents sparked outrage and forced the FIA to reconsider team order rules. The 2002 drama led to a temporary ban. The 2010 one showed how thinly veiled orders could still ruin sporting integrity. While not illegal at all times, these moments highlighted how racing sometimes becomes choreography, especially in Maranello Red. It wasn't cheating in the rulebook sense, but it was a masterclass in how to lose fans while still winning races. 6th, Schumacher's Park Gate crash and Rust-Cost qualifying block. Michael Schumacher didn't just race hard, he weaponized strategy. In 1994, at the final race in Adelaide, he collided with Damon Hill in what many saw as a deliberate crash to seal the title. It worked. Schumacher won his first championship, but lost a chunk of his legacy. Then came Monaco, 2006. Schumacher, accidentally, parked his car at Rust-Cost during qualifying, bringing out yellow flags and blocking others, including Alonso, from beating his lap time. Stewards weren't fooled. He was sent to the back of the grid. These incidents weren't rule-breaking in the Crashgate sense, but they were cold, calculated moves that exploited every inch of gray area and rival patience. Schumacher was brilliant, but these moments showed he'd trade sportsmanship for silverware without blinking. When the stakes were highest, he knew exactly where to crash and when. 7th, Leagate, McLaren's truth trouble. At the 2009 Australian Grand Prix, McLaren and Lewis Hamilton found themselves tangled in a mess that wasn't mechanical. It was moral. During a safety car incident, Hamilton passed Jarno Trulli, then claimed Trulli overtook him illegally. Turns out, that was not the full story. McLaren had told Hamilton to let Trulli through, then denied it to race stewards. Hamilton, under team pressure, repeated the lie. The FIA uncovered the deception through radio transmissions, and the fallout was swift. Hamilton was disqualified from the race, and McLaren was branded as liars. Team principal Martin Whitmarsh later admitted it was a serious error in judgment. The incident wasn't about illegal parts or software. It was a plain old ethical implosion, and it proved you don't need tech to cheat in F1. Just bad advice and a straight face. 8. Ferrari's 2019 illegal power unit, fuel flowgate. In 2019, Ferrari's straight-line speed suddenly became suspicious, so suspicious that Red Bull and Mercedes cried foul. At the heart of the drama, fuel flow sensors. The FIA suspected Ferrari had found a way to trick the sensor, injecting more fuel than allowed for brief performance gains. But instead of issuing a public penalty, the FIA struck a private settlement. No public disclosure, no disqualification, just a very Italian shrug. The result? Fury from rival teams and an immediate clampdown on fuel flow regulations. Ferrari's pace mysteriously vanished afterward, making the whole thing even more eyebrow-raising. Though never officially labeled cheating, this secret deal became one of the sport's murkiest cover-ups. Proof that sometimes it's not about breaking rules, it's about how well you can bend them without snapping. For fans, it left a scar on Ferrari's recent legacy, and a big question mark over 2019's results. 9. Ferrari's internal leak, Nigel Stepney and the Spygate spark. Before McLaren ever laid hands on Ferrari's designs, the betrayal began in Maranello. Nigel Stepney, a senior Ferrari engineer, grew disgruntled with team politics and handed sensitive technical documents to McLaren's Mike Coughlin. It was an act of corporate espionage that rocked F1. Stepney was eventually fired, and McLaren suffered the biggest fine in sports history, $100 million. Ferrari, the victim in this case, ironically became part of one of the most scandalous chapters in F1 history because one of their own started it. While they didn't benefit from this leak, it revealed a toxic culture and internal fractures that rivaled any on-track rivalry. Stepney claimed he was sidelined unfairly after years of loyalty. Ferrari called it sabotage. The incident proved that in F1, betrayal isn't just between teams, it can come from the garage next door. 10. 2025 Ferrari wing probe, the flex fight continues. Even in 2025, Ferrari can't seem to stay out of trouble. Their latest brush with controversy came after rival teams, especially Red Bull, accused them of running a suspiciously flexible rear wing. The claim? That Ferrari had engineered components that passed static tests, but flexed under load, reducing drag on straights without compromising cornering. Sound familiar? It should. Flexi wings have been a shady F1 tradition for years. The FIA launched an investigation and hinted at changes to rear wing testing procedures. As of now, there's no official punishment. But the paddock is watching closely. This incident shows the ever-evolving cat-and-mouse game between innovation and legality. Whether it's fuel flow, floors, or wings, the goal remains the same. Build fast, pass the test, and pray no one snitches. Ferrari's technical genius is undeniable, but so is their talent for dancing on the razor's edge of the rulebook. From shady crashes to secret fuel tricks, F1 has shown us that racing isn't just about speed, it's about how far teams will go to win. These scandals aren't just history, they're warnings written in tire smoke and controversy. If this deep dive into Formula One's darker corners made you rethink what fair play really means, drop a like, hit subscribe, and stick around, because in this sport, the truth is always chasing the car in front. See you next time in the pit lane of the F1 News.